Welcome to Attenuation, a weekly podcast where two friends come together to drink beer, discuss beer styles and trends, and just generally ruminate on the meaning of life, aka beer. If you enjoy your time with us, we invite you to become a weekly listener and subscribe to the podcast. Without further ado, here is this week's episode.
Hello, and welcome to episode 74 of Attenuation, a beer podcast. My name is Jason, and I'm joined by my best friend since 8th grade, Steven.
Hello.
How are you today, sir?
Awesome.
You ready to drink beer and talk about beer?
Yes, please. Needs to happen ASAP.
Okay, we'll get there, but we have to talk. We have to do, we have a whole procedure here.
Yeah, we have lots of segments.
We don't get to just drink beer right away. It's delayed gratification. Which is funny because our topic today is crazy New Jersey craft beer laws, where they also make you wait to enjoy beer.
This is the strangest thing ever. It was funny because last week we were talking about some beer memes that were like going over our head, and there were a few that referenced some of these New Jersey laws. So that's what kind of got me going down this road of reading stuff about it. Oh my gosh, this is really stupid. So we were like, well, let's just dedicate a whole episode to these dumb New Jersey beer laws because it's worth it.
All right, good. We introduced the topic. Now we're allowed to get to the drinking beer segment.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the way this works is I introduce my beer and give nose notes. Steven does the same. Then we cheers and do tasting notes. Okay, so today I have a beer from Wiley Roots Brewing, which I believe you've been to.
I have. It's in Greeley, Colorado. So when my wife and I went to WeldWorks, and then we went to Wiley Roots. It's one of those things, kind of like we were talking about when we were at the beer festival, and then we went to a brewery after, and we were just like completely burned out on beer. This was towards the end of a long day of drinking beer at different places, and so it's kind of brutal. But they're like really known for their smoothie sours, and they have a lot of their smoothie sours that they turn into soft serve.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we mostly just had soft serve and a couple sours there, but
nice. Well, this is not a sour. This is their Bear Claw. So it's an oatmeal milk stout with almond, flour, coffee, vanilla, and natural flavors.
Dang, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's a 7.5. Yeah, 7.5% oatmeal stout.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Not barrel aged.
Weird.
If they made a barrel aged version, I would drink it. So pours kind of what you would expect.
The goblet again today.
Yeah, I went with the stout goblet. So extremely dark with a quickly dissipating kind of brown head. Oh wow, it smells so much like coffee, like fresh coffee, and then a lot of sweet notes like syrup and a little bit of cake almost. Huh. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be inspired by a Bear Claw, right? So yeah,
I know you should be drinking this for breakfast.
I know, right? Yeah, and so I would say like it has kind of a syrupy note, almond, vanilla, and fresh coffee. It's breakfast in a glass.
Okay, cool. I am drinking a beer called Heavy Hammer this is the collaboration between Tripping Animals Brewing in Florida and Humble Sea Brewing, which is I don't know where Humble Sea is. Look it up for me, Jason. Jason's who's the Joe Rogan's like?
Jamie.
Jamie.
Pull that up, Jamie. Jamie,
oh my gosh, yeah, Jason, pull that up for me. Doral, Florida is Tripping Animals. Humble Sea is
Santa Cruz, California.
Oh, cool. Okay, so both coasts, and this is a West Coast double IPA with Simcoe Cryo, Mosaic Cryo, and Strata hops.
It sounds pretty far up your alley.
Yeah. Strata hops. No, I was gonna say that's the hop that gets made fun of, but it's not Strata, it's Sabro that gets made fun of.
Wait, why did they make fun of it?
Sabro has a lot of coconut notes to them, and some people just do not like coconut in their IPAs, I guess. So
also,
it's one of those like beer meme things that goes.
Gotcha.
Went over my head for a long time.
You gotta be pretty deep in.
Yeah.
When you can make fun of individual hop varieties. Yeah.
Like, oh, Sabro hops. I guess if you like coconut in your beer.
feel like it's a pineapple on pizza situation.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, speaking of pineapple, we always influence our noses with words. Yeah, a lot of pineapple on this one. Maybe a little peach and nectarine, mandarin orange. I guess I'll describe it. It's beer colored.
I thought we were going to work on our colors.
Yeah, we are.
I bet there's like a beer color chart that you can use.
Yeah, like there's like a SRM chart too. But anyway, yeah, it's just like a nice golden orange with a head with lots of lacing. Okay, let's drink beer.
All right, cheers.
All right, cheers.
Okay, this is good. I really think they kind of like did what they set out to do. It does have a sweet entrance, like pancake syrup, but it's not like overly sweet. It's more like the essence of syrup, you know what I mean? And then you do get a little
essence of syrup.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we kind of say like.
I love that. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That was awesome.
Okay. And you get almond, and then like, because it's an oatmeal stout, it's very like creamy and kind of like I don't know, it's almost like donut. And then you get creamy vanilla. Yeah. And then you get like creamy vanilla into. There's like a flash of the alcohol for a second, and then there's a really long finish that's like almost like just black coffee. So this is really good. It's kind of like exactly what I look for, and because I would consider this kind of like a dessert stout, but it's got like all the elements of the stout, but it's been enhanced by the additions. It's not like done. It's not like overdone.
Yeah. It's
sweet, but it's not like sickeningly sweet. So thumbs up on this one.
Cool.
Right, how was your beer over there?
Sounds like a good breakfast beer. Mine's good. So I forgot to mention mine's 8.5%, so I'm going harder on the alcohol than you are with my double IP. But good, yeah. I love, me and you, we love the West Coast style. So this is like very sweet malt and citrus forward. Lots of orange, tangerine, grapefruit rind, bitterness, some subtle pine in there, but definitely a marked West Coast bitterness at the end, but just a good balance between the malt and the citrus and pine notes. So like I said, very much West Coast WIPA flavors going on here. Not your entry level IPA, because the bitterness is strong with this one, but
I like that.
It's the bitterness you start to crave after a while.
You learn to love it.
It's the Isla Scotch.
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, I went to the Costco. This is strange to Jason, but in Texas, like Costco has a separate liquor store next door.
Oh, right. Speaking of rules and regulations.
Yeah, right. I know. Weird beer laws. But yeah, so I don't go in there very often, but I did the other day because I wanted to look at what single malt scotches they had. And they have quite a few. They have some that are like $400.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Those are not worth it.
Yeah, I should have taken a note of what they were, but yeah, I'm sure that was not going to be worth paying. But they had the Glenlivet something 12. Is that what you say?
That's the gateway.
12? It was like $50 or something.
Oh, that's not right.
Maybe it was a big thing of it.
Oh, I bet it was because it's Costco.
Yeah, it's like a bigger bottle. I think it was like 75, but it was a much bigger bottle. It was like a really big.
They do have Glenmorangie is another really good entry level one, and they have one at Costco that's like it's the huge bottle.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's ridiculously hard to pour.
I'm sure. Yeah. I checked out the single malt scotches. Didn't buy anything, but
that's awesome.
I had to check out what they had.
Yeah, Costco has surprisingly good selection, but I would recommend against. So one of the factors that plays into Scotch is age. So like once you get to things that are 25 plus years, the price just becomes astronomical because you're paying for kind of the time that was invested. But age does not necessarily connote quality.
Yeah.
And it's just means that there's going to be more influences of the barrel, and the overall flavor might have like changed and more than likely mellowed out. So sometimes that's actually bad. So like, for example, Highland Park 12 and 18, I've had both. The 12 is way better, I think. Because the 18 like loses a little bit of its edge and what I think makes the Scotch good. So, but the 18 is a lot more expensive. But like,
yeah,
I don't think there's not necessarily a correlation there. Yeah, but that is something that I think people get hooked on. It's like, oh, if it's more expensive, it must be better. But yeah.
Yep, for sure. Well, anyway, thumbs up on my beer. I like it
Good.
a lot.
2 thumbs up day.
Yeah.
That's good.
Tripping animals and humble sea. Nice
And
work. Nice
I
work
like
on
how
the
it's
collaboration.
yeah, and I like how it's like an Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean collab.
Yeah. I don't know how they thought of doing an IPA with Mosaic, Simcoe, and Strata hops, but they did it.
I'm so brave.
Sorry. That's my cynicism. How did they do it? Great minds. It's a matter of execution, and they executed it very well. So
Right.
I'm sure if you gave me the same ingredients, I could make a pretty crappy beer.
But you have a lot less practice than they do.
That's true.
Okay, so we do have so the next segment is postscripts, beer news, and story time with Steve.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? I will. We said in the pre-roll that I don't have a story time, but I will kind of I will add on a little bit.
Oh, nice. You do have a story time. Okay, so postscripts is when we go back and either add to things we said we'd return to or like correct mistakes. And we do have a postscript about, well, it was supposed to be about parallel evolution, but I realized what I was describing as convergent evolution. So convergent evolution is
I'm going to apologize to the listeners. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's cool. I'm going to tell you some cool facts.
Okay.
It's a trait of evolution in which species not of similar origin acquire similar properties. And the example I'm going to give...
Can I give a little background? So the reason we're even talking about this is because we talked about before. They're like, what the hell am I listening to?
You don't have to justify. We can talk about whatever we want.
That's true. But
like, go ahead and frame us, Stephen.
Okay, well, we were talking about Schwarz beer and what were we talking about? Oh, dark lagers and the evolution of dark lagers and how they kind of different dark lagers evolved in different places, not without necessarily having a common ancestor. So that's what we talked about. Oh, Vision was an example of that parallel evolution or convergent evolution. Okay, proceed.
Well, yeah, because I said the author, Jeff Allworth, who wrote the Beer Bible, must be a nerd because he said parallel evolution. Yeah, when he talked about like the dark lager. So I was like, this nerd. But I was mistaken because I was talking about the eyeball. That's actually convergent evolution. So a couple examples of convergent evolutions is the bodies of sharks and dolphins have very similar body forms, but one's a fish and one's a mammal. So they have like different evolutionary paths, but their bodies are very similar because it's a great way to swim.
They're in the same environment.
Exactly. And then the eyeballs of mammals, so vertebrates, and octopus, which are cephalopods, they think we both have eyes, but they're slightly different, and our eyes are inferior because.
Duh.
Well, because
we have like the worst eyes.
I didn't know this. I thought we had good eyes, but the way the nerve fibers, ours pass in front of the retina, so that's why you have a blind spot. Because that's where like the nerves are coming into your eye and they're like blocking a part of the retina. Mm-hmm. But the way that cephalopod,
your mind just fills it in, I think, right?
Yes. So you can do the thing where you hold out I forgot how you do it. You like look at one of your fingers and then you move the other finger and the tip of it will disappear.
Disappears, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's your blind spot. But the cephalopod eye, the nerves are like complete, so there's no blockage. So they don't have a blind spot because it kind of it comes around from the outside and then grows out. So where ours just kind of like punched through the middle.
Yeah.
So it's like a very similar, so much like dark lagers, we're all very similar. They all kind of arose on their own in separate locations. Then 2 evolutionary paths gave rise to Vision, but they're very similar in the way they're constructed, but obviously a little bit different because their eye formed in a way where they don't have a blind spot. So you go, now you know about convergent evolution.
Dang, dropping some knowledge today.
And if anyone actually knows about biology, they're probably like, well, like that was 90% wrong.
Okay.
But you get the somewhat idea. So that was my postscript.
Anybody who knows the history of beer is like,
wrong. Same thing for our podcast. We're like, these guys don't know anything about beer.
We're learning through beer memes, though, so much.
Okay, so that was the postscript. Steven, do you have, so now, news to me. I know you have beer news, but you also have story time.
Okay, I have to tell you, though, I showed a meme to my friend today at work.
Uh-oh.
And have you ever seen the meme it's like the wolf, and the wolf is like something about, oh, we should like get food from these humans. What could go wrong or something?
Yes.
And then like 10,000 years later, and the dogs are like dressed up with like costumes on. They're like wiener dogs with costumes on. Okay. So I showed that meme to my friend. I was laughing. And she's just like, I do not get it. Like, what are you showing me? And I had to deconstruct the meme.
You had to do.
My line.
You had to do yes,
And
no.
she's like, it's not that funny when you break it down.
Yeah,
And
you
have
can't
to
explain the joke.
So yeah, that's what I do with beer memes that I don't get. I have to Google stuff. And I'm like, this meme isn't that funny. when I
have to do like
components of
research, it's not going to be funny. Yeah.
But anyway, it leads to podcast episodes like this where we find out a bunch of cool, weird stuff about New Jersey because we're looking at beer memes.
And
okay,
then a whole new set of memes will make sense to you now.
Yeah, I know, right? It is kind of nice. After that, then it opens up a whole new world. There you start laughing at stuff. Yeah. Okay, so first off, beer news. So last week I talked a little bit about the Great American Beer Festival released their list of breweries that are going to be attending, the preliminary list, although it's basically a complete list because the only ones they didn't include, they're going to have 3 quote-unquote tap rooms, so 3 little areas, each with a different theme. One of those is called like Collaboration Nation or something. And it's going to be a bunch of collaboration beers. So they haven't announced like what those are going to be, what breweries will be in those collaborations. There's also one that's previous beer festival winners and World Cup beer winners. So like if you want to taste beers that have won medals recently. And then in a third area called Wish We Were Here. So it's a bunch of breweries that are going to send beers, but like no representation. So they're just sending beer to the beer festival.
Please tell me New Glarus is doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, those are any of the beers or breweries involved in those 3 tap rooms. Those haven't been revealed.
Okay.
But it sounds like the rest of the list is pretty set. So one of the big things I didn't realize until just yesterday. So the convention center in Denver is under construction. So the area in which the beer festival is taking place is smaller this year, so they reduced the number of breweries. So in 2019 there were 800 breweries there, and there's only going to be 500 this time, and the attendance is capped at 40,000, and it's not sold out yet. I mean, I think 3 of the all but one session are sold out, but there's still tickets available, which is kind of crazy. I think this is the longest it's ever taken to sell out, and it's like way less people. So there were a few like theories on that. One is that it's been off for 2 years, and there's, I don't know, maybe not as much hype. The other thing too is there have been a lot of beer festivals that have opened back up over the last year, and it kind of has taken the Great American Beer Festival a little bit longer to like reopen fully.
Gotcha.
So some people have just festival fatigue because they've been going to festivals over the last year, and they've been going to them a lot because, you know, they couldn't go to them for a long time. So there's some festival fatigue, maybe just the fact that there's a lot fewer breweries going to be there this year. It's not as appealing to people. It is also, they said, very, very California and Colorado brewery dominant, which I think is kind of true every year, but apparently it's even more this year.
It's getting more pronounced. Yeah.
No breweries from Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, New Hampshire, or South Dakota. I don't think anybody's sad about that.
Shots fired.
There will be 3 non-alcoholic beer makers: Athletic, Groovy, and Saria Brewing. So
wow. Yeah.
So we'll have lots of non-alcoholic options too for our mid-session break.
And last time we went, they had a fancy soda area too, like artisanal soda. So we drank some of those as a break.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It'll be a little bit smaller, but maybe a little more intimate, and, you know, we're going to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, you get to try probably like 30 to 40 breweries tops, so we're still going to hit like less than 10%. Yeah, the difference between 500 and 800 is not really significant if you're not going to get to all of them anyway. So so that is beer news. A little update on the Great American Beer Festival. Try to give you a few more updates as we get closer. We're like a little over a month out. Crazy.
I know, I'm so excited. And then story time with Steve.
Yes.
This is also kind of a continuation of last week's story when I announced that I was beginning to start to begin.
There's a lot of preamble.
On my Cicerone journey. So I had ordered flashcards, and they arrived. They're in my hand.
Nice. They look official.
Yeah. Look at see. Each beer style has a card with
Those are beautiful.
With its color and its bitterness and alcohol level, and a little bit of history and flavor profiles on every single card.
And you got the expanded pack, right?
Yeah, so all I have right here is 41, and then there's a huge expansion pack that I haven't even opened yet. I haven't even broken the seal on that because I will feel overwhelmed.
That's a lot. Yeah, just stick with the 40.
Yeah, even just these, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Just think of those ions, Steven.
But they all seem the same.
I know. They have their Instagram and they put the little quizzes up there.
Yeah.
And I always get it wrong.
It's really hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah. Although it's kind of fun to like look at the Munich Dunkel and be like, I know that beer because I just did a deep dive on it.
Yeah. I got to order that. I want to start studying with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you should, because it's going to take us a while.
It's a bucket list.
41.
Just before we die.
Just for the 41 styles, it's going to be.
And that's just for the first test.
That's for the first level. That's not even true Cicerone level. Yeah. I don't know why we're doing this.
we need street cred for the podcast. We got to Cicerone up.
Yeah, we do. There are people that would be listening to us, but they're like, they're not even Cicerones.
Not even Cicerones.
Why would I even listen to them? You know why? For content like this. Okay.
Great content.
Convergent evolution. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you're going to learn
because you didn't listen to the podcast.
1 week you can learn about the differences between Diet Coke and Coke Zero.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Main topic, New Jersey. What's going on with their craft beer laws?
Something weird. Something weird for sure. So let me start off by saying that there are some weird beer laws in every state. We've covered a few of them in a previous episode. Texas is not exempt from this. We still have some pretty stupid laws on the books. Still can't buy alcohol in the grocery store until 7 a.m., even though the grocery store opened at 6. So I'm not really sure why they open at 6 if they can't sell everything in the store until 7. So that's pretty dumb. We have made some progress in that area because you used to not be able to buy it at all on Sunday. And now you can buy it at like 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, starting at 10. And then every other day, I think, is at 7. So progress, because, Texas is very free. We're big on the freedom here in Texas. Unless you want to
buy beer on a Sunday. Yeah,
then you got to wait till 10. So weird laws exist everywhere. But even in states where they have some weird laws like Texas about when you can buy alcohol and stuff like that, they have looked at especially like during the pandemic, have looked at some of the dynamics of these what are mostly small businesses, right? These breweries trying to make it in a tough landscape. They have mostly made laws about that help them. One of the big things was takeout beer here in Texas, being able to go to pick up orders of beer at your local brewery, and just some of the stuff surrounding taking beer off site and stuff like that have relaxed and been in the brewery's favor and making it easier for them to do business in the pandemic and after. And a lot of those laws that were like very pandemic based are just kind of staying on the books and then like, yeah, keep doing it this way. It's fine, So that's what makes this so crazy in New Jersey is that they're going backwards. Like they are punishing breweries for existing, basically. So some of these laws were actually started as just recommendations from the alcohol agency, whatever that's called, the New Jersey Alcohol Board or whatever.
ABC, Alcohol Beverage Control.
Right there. Yeah.
Control being the operative word.
They take their name very seriously. So they actually published these regulations, but they weren't actually codified into law. And I think a lot of the breweries, when these regulations came out, they were like, meh, okay, not going to do any of that. And then they actually codified them into law, and they are law now in starting back in July of this year. So let's talk about a few of these weird things. So first of all, the beer meme that led us to this whole thing was a meme about having to take a tour. Like, oh, you're gonna make me take a tour, aren't you? Like going to a New Jersey brewery. And again, this meme went straight over my head, straight over Jason's head too, I believe. We're like, what
do you mean?
So I was reading this article about this person who was visiting New Jersey, and they were going to a bunch of the breweries, and one of the first ones, they were like forced to take a tour. And they're like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. They just really want everyone to take a tour of their brewery. Okay. So they could not drink a beer there until they had taken the tour. Well, then they went to another brewery, and same thing. They had to take a tour. That's kind of strange, for that to happen twice. Okay. And the next place they went to, there was a guy at the door handing out these pamphlets, and the pamphlets, you had to read the pamphlet before you could get a beer, and the pamphlet was like all about describing the brewing process and stuff. And they're like, okay, something is legitimately weird here. And sure enough, like that's part of the law, is that you have to educate the beer drinker on the brewing process before you can serve them a beer. So there's like a lot of loopholes. Some breweries just have a big like poster picture on the wall describing the brew process.
This is how beer is made.
Yeah. Others, I think, maybe just said, okay, well, we'll just send everybody on a tour. It's not the worst thing, right? People want to take tours of the brewery anyway. You just do that. But it's just such a weird, like, nobody can even give an actual justification for that law. Like, what? You need to understand the brewing process before you drink it? Well, who does that anywhere in any other related circumstance? Like, when is that even, who came up with this stuff?
Oh, there's an explanation, Steve.
Do you have an explanation?
It's big bars, man.
Big bars.
Regulatory capture.
So, but okay, now you have to explain to me though, what would be the purpose? To make it just not as desirable to go to this brewery as it would be to go to a bar?
Yeah, obviously this is all speculative, but there is an article where they kind of complain about the fact that there's an artificial limit on the number of people that can serve alcohol. Like there's liquor licenses. So It's very competitive to get one. And oftentimes like the liquor license itself can become very valuable. And I guess there's only 150 craft breweries in New Jersey and 6,000 bars. And the revenue generated is in the billions. So there's just kind of an incentive to, one, it's really competitive to get those liquor licenses. And two, it's just kind of like one of those things where they make rules to, the people that are in the successful business positions have a little bit of influence over the ABC. And they don't like the craft beer revolution.
Gotcha.
I don't know, allegedly. But think about it. If you look at the rules, think about this. Open your skeptical mind. So you can't sell coffee on site, which is weird. I don't really get that one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's strange. Which is crazy too, because there's been a little bit of that opening now where like we have Red Horn here in Austin. They are basically a coffee roaster. They make their own coffee and then they're a brewery too, so they do both. And then of course those cross over as well because they use their own coffee in like their coffee stouts and stuff. But they open at 6 a.m. selling coffee and then they just operate all day and switch to a brewery later, which is pretty cool, honestly. Modern Times did that too. Modern Times has their own coffee line.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were like one of the first ones to do that, actually. So the things that like just can't happen.
Yeah, weird. That's weird. Okay, but listen to the rest of these rules. Are you ready?
Okay.
Collaborating, coordinating with food trucks and vendors
is prohibited. It's so dumb. That's like brewery 101. Have a food truck come park at your brewery.
And I don't know this yet. Maybe we can postscript this. Well, let me go through all of them and then I'll give you my deep conspiracy theory. Selling food or operating a restaurant. So you can't be like, I don't think you can be like a BJ's. You can't have like a brewery where you make craft beer and then also serve food.
Yeah, unless you have the full liquor license, I think.
Yes, exactly. Selling specialty cocktails using malt alcohol. Okay. So basically saying offering a free drink to any guest and offering happy hour pricing. Okay, let's go back up this list and think about what you do at bars. Happy hour pricing, check. Offering a free drink to a guest, check. Making specialty cocktails using malt alcohol, check. Selling food. Check. Selling coffee? Is that a thing at bars? Maybe. The only thing I can think of is like you get a coffee at the end of the night of drinking to like try to sober up.
Yeah.
But the list is very strange and suspicious until you start to realize like, oh, this is all the things you can do at a bar, but they don't want you to do at a brewery.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is that so many of the weird beer laws that exist in Texas, for example, a lot of them are like puritanical at heart, right? They're like, we don't want you to get too drunk. We don't want you to buy alcohol on Sundays because you should be going to church. You know, like very they have these like puritanical roots. That's not the case in New Jersey. Like they're not, because if they were, like they wouldn't want you, they don't want you to shoot you drunk. Like you should be eating food with your beer, right?
Well, it says the ABC in New Jersey was formed just after Prohibition, and the goal was to limit alcohol consumption. So it's kind of like, well, you guys can drink alcohol again, but we don't like it.
Okay, so it still has its roots in that a little bit.
Kind of, because they want to control, like, we only want so many places in our state making alcohol or serving alcohol.
Okay, and then that morphed into, well, like, if there's a limited number of places that can serve alcohol, then the ones that are already doing it, they want to control that.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of the theory proposed by this article.
And the craft brewery revolution, the growing number of craft breweries threatens that. Threatens their position.
Yeah, that was, and this is all allegedly.
I did read something about the mafia
being
very involved in the bar scene and them having a little bit more control, like having influence over the ABC as well, the mafia. But
maybe, possibly.
That was purely speculation, and we just speculate here on the Attenuation Beer podcast. Okay, we don't accuse the mafia or anything of anything.
Could you imagine if there was only like so many podcast licenses and only 10,000 podcasts can exist? Yeah, if we got in early.
Yeah, if we were in early, that would be fantastic. Yeah, we need less podcast competition. Okay, I kind of understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, see, it makes sense. Let's regulate podcasts. Only 10,000, and we get one spot. For sure.
For sure, yeah.
Because we thought of the idea.
We thought. Oh, that's great. Okay, so the other weird thing, too, is that they limit the breweries to 25 events a year. So an event be like trivia night or live music or anything special like that. So that's one every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you can only go to 12 off-site events, which is, beer festivals and stuff like that, pouring your beer at any other event. And then you also cannot have like a farmer's market or like a craft sale or anything like that at your brewery. So no pop-up shops, small markets, anything like that at your brewery. You can't do that at all. And you can only have 25 of these on-site events. Like, that's insane. And really, I think like the more you, like you said, the more you sort of check off down the list of this, it becomes clear that they just don't want breweries in their state. Right?
It's kind of what it seems like, but yeah, I don't know.
Like, I mean, I can't, they're not brewery friendly.
They're kind of targeting, well, the thing is that list is like targeting like everything you think of when you think of a brewery. Getting the food truck to come, having events, like, yeah. Yep.
Every brewery does all of these things, and it's just standard now. Cornhole tournaments and just stuff like that. And this is mind-blowing that they're I mean, it'd be one thing if like these laws have been on the books for 10 years or something, and this is like brand new stuff. Laws regulating breweries in a way that like most other states are loosening restrictions on breweries because they see the growth of craft beer in the community is great for all sorts of things. Again, live music, bands and artists that want to play at these venues, like they have more venues to play at, and it just supports all sorts of community growth other than just the brewery itself. So strange that they're doing this, but they're apparently doubling down on it.
And that's why we see those memes. It even said in this blog post I was reading, keep spreading the memes.
Yeah, right? I know. Of course, there's been tons of petitions and stuff, and a lot of those breweries are asking anyone and everyone to sign them if you can. Put some pressure on them. But yeah, it's not a craft beer friendly state among almost every other state that is or becoming more craft beer friendly. Don't go to New Jersey. Well,
You're
go to
fighting-
New Jersey, support the breweries, I guess. But
Yeah, they need extra
go on the
help.
tours.
Yeah, go on the
Bite
tour.
the bullet. Go on the tour.
Bring your
Drink the
pack
can.
your lunch.
Yeah.
Pack your coffee thermos.
Yeah, you can't even have like pizza delivered to the brewery.
Wait, really?
Yeah, prohibited.
That's insane.
They thought
How
of
could-
everything.
Man.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like a lot of the breweries say, like, okay, they haven't come down super hard with the enforcement of these laws yet, but
Okay.
who's to say they won't? And once they start cracking down and handing out fines and stuff, then breweries are just gonna close down and leave.
Yeah, and you don't want to be. I mean, you don't want to be the one that gets made an example of, right? So
Yeah.
crazy. So we're not gonna when we win the lottery, we will not be moving to New Jersey to start our operating at a loss brewery.
Yeah, not going there. The no fun zone.
The no fun zone.
Oh, there's a great meme too, where they're like, the guy's in jail, and the one guy's like, "What are you in here for?" And he's like, "I had 26 events at my brewery this year."
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So maybe you'll see that. You'll start to see lots of New Jersey beer memes if you're in the beer meme world.
Yeah. Well, now we have unlocked a whole new universe of memes we can enjoy. I feel like we need to keep doing episodes until we understand every single meme on those meme pages.
Okay, done.
I feel like
Scheduled.
we just unlocked like a big chunk of them. So now we have to
for sure.
we need to look at and find the next meme we don't understand and then start researching.
Actually, what's funny is that even doing the bottle share episode,
Yeah.
that unlocked some memes too. Because
Did it?
there's a lot of bottle share memes that I would never get. I mean, I probably still don't get a lot of them because I've never been to a bottle share, but they seem really, really snobby.
I bet.
Like there's this one where it's this like suitcase. It's like this specialty rolling suitcase, and I think it's like, I don't know if it has some sort of refrigeration in it or something. Or yeah, and it's like, if you don't show up to your bottle share with one of these, just leave.
Portable refrigerator.
Yeah. Like, you don't take very good care of your beer. You don't show up with one of these.
There's like a phenomenon of where there should be a name for it. There's probably a word for this in German. There's just a word for everything in German. But it's like where
Like Schadenfreude.
Yeah, exactly. But I need a word for like, I enjoy something, but I also hate 90% of the like the hobby.
Yeah.
I enjoy the hobby, but I hate most of it.
Yeah.
All the ancillary stuff, right? Where it's like, I just want to drink good beer and enjoy it. I don't want to have to bring my portable fridge.
Right. Wait, are you like that with watches too? Because that's your other big hobby.
Yeah, I hate myself and all watch content.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's like so much of it is so presumptuous and it's just gross.
Yeah.
Like so much of that people that are into that as an interest are like gross to me, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I mean, every time I take a picture of my beer when I'm out at a restaurant,
You like
I
shudder.
feel stupid. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you follow us on Instagram, thank you. And
Yeah, know that Steven suffers for those pictures.
yeah, I suffer every time. So you better like it.
Your Instagram is I like how I call it yours because I don't even try to post on there anymore.
Yeah, by the way,
Your pictures are dope, Steven.
iPhone 12 Pro,
I always like the one you did at Red Horn. It's a nice shot.
the one with the sunglasses and the sun in the back. Was that one? Is that what you're talking about?
No, this one is like one where it's like you just shot across this wood table and you kind of captured the background.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Looks very
Yeah.
profesh.
With the logo on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that
I
one.
see what you did there.
All right. We're at the point of the podcast where we're breaking down our own Instagram. Jason's checking out our own Instagram like, oh, I haven't seen that picture.
Hey, I've liked every single picture. I think.
Yeah,
like at
probably.
least 90% of them.
Yeah.
What is our Instagram, Steven?
Attenuation.podcast.
You should follow us at attenuation.podcast on
Yeah,
Instagram.
you should follow us for some beautiful pictures taken by the iPhone 12 Pro.
Are we sponsored by Apple?
No, but we should be.
Yeah, we'll get right on that.
I was told by a friend who knows Instagram much better than I do that I should start DMing companies and asking them to follow us and to sponsor us.
Yeah, we need beer shipped to us, Steven.
Yeah, so I need to get on that. Start
All right.
DMing everyone.
All right, I can help you with that.
Yeah, I don't know how to DM.
I'll teach you.
They keep talking about this DM thing. I'm not
You're
really
like,
sure.
where's the
There
DM
a
button?
DM?
I don't see anything that says DM.
Oh my goodness. I'm like young and old at the same time. Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah.
Like I feel young, and then just there are moments where I'm like, I'm so old and so
Disconnected.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least you got TikTok. I don't even have TikTok.
Yeah, you gotta get on the TikTok, man. You'll
I
love it. I know it.
I refuse.
There's probably some good watch TikToks.
I'm sure there are.
Okay, follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay,
And
now
you can.
keep going into your spiel.
Okay. And that was a good, I
The segue.
segued it. Yeah, that's the word. And the 7.5% Wiley Roots. It's kicking in.
Have you ever ridden a Segway?
No, are they fun?
No, I've never done it. Well, I've ridden the little hoverboard things, which is like a Segway without the.
Yeah, it's like the same concept.
Yeah, I'm
The
pretty good
Segway
at
is
it.
like the original though.
Yeah.
They're like,
Like,
are
you
they
know,
still,
I always wanted to take like a city tour, a
On a
Segway
Segway.
tour. Yeah.
are they
But
still
then also like I laugh at those people. So
you laugh at them?
yeah, because they look ridiculous.
Yeah, you look really weird on a.
It's like city tours and mall cops are the only Segway users now.
Yeah, they're still $1,000.
$1,000, man. Prices gotta come down on those things. Okay, anyway, Segways.
You segued into Segways. Okay. Instagram, attenuation.podcast. Email is contact.attenuation@gmail.com. And this has been episode 74 of Attenuation, a beer podcast. My name is Jason, and I'm joined by my best friend since 8th grade, Steven.
That's me. We thank you and apologize.
Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, you're a true fan.
Yeah. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers to
Oh.
you and our true fans.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Attenuation, a beer podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Instagram or Facebook for more fun content. Catch you next week. Cheers!